Welcome back to video number 2. Thank you for continuing on with me. In this particular video, we have 2 stories we're going to cover. One essentially is the fact that Harry has been dumped off by one of his good friends. The friend is getting married, society event of the season. And number 2 is Harry and Meghan have something to say now about what went on in Nigeria. Yep, their team is speaking out. Let's jump in. Let's go. We're going to start this story back in December of 2023. We knew the Duke of Westminster was getting married. The engagement was announced. And Harry's people said that Harry got a save the date card, but was going to be turning down the invitation. When the truth of the matter is, we found out that the Prince and Princess of Wales and the King and Camilla were being invited, and he didn't want any clashes. So basically, he had to choose one or the other. You know, he had to get on one side or the other. Well, now it's come out that not only will William be at this wedding, but he is actually going to be an usher. Now, according to the Church of England, ushers are among the first to arrive at the wedding ceremony. They help greet the guests, they help seat the guests, and your main role there is to help the guests feel welcome and comfortable in the church. So people are like, is Harry going to be there? No. For those of you who are unaware, the groom happens to be the godfather or one of the godfathers to Prince George. They are saying that Catherine is more than likely not going to attend due to her cancer treatments, and they're not saying if George, Charlotte, or Louis are going to be part of the bridal party, even though they've both been flower girls and groomsmen, and you know what I'm saying, they've been in all the weddings. Now, while the groom is the godfather to George, King Charles is the godfather to the groom. And since he's also undergoing cancer treatments, they don't know if he's going to be present at the wedding. Now, this is where things get a little odd. Now, according to Harry and Meghan, they decided not to attend because they said it would be too awkward. However, a source close to William and Harry said that the groom decided not to invite Harry and Meghan because he didn't want the day to be overshadowed by awkwardness or the attention taken off of the bride. This gentleman, his name is Hugh. He's one of the very few close friends of William and Harry who has maintained apparently lines of communication with both. So he wanted them to make up before the wedding. Obviously that wasn't happening. And in the end, he had to pick a side, and he did. Now, this wedding, which is supposed to be the social event of the season, is taking place at Chester Cathedral in England on June 7th. There are going to be around 400 guests expected to attend. The bride is Olivia Henson, who is 31, and Mr. Grosvenor is considered one of the richest men in the UK. Now, after the wedding, they'll be treated to a reception at Eaton Hall, which is pictured above. Eaton Hall, by the way, is the groom's 11,000-acre family estate. And then the day after that, it's being reported they're going to have a smaller reception at Eaton Hall for close friends and family. I'm sure that William will be present for that. And when I tell you that this guy that she's marrying is wealthy, he inherited a fortune of about 10 billion pounds or 12.7 billion dollars. Yeah, he's loaded. Now, as far as Harry and Meghan basically telling people they were invited, but they've decided not to go to save face, somebody did reach out to, the people that are doing the invites. And this is what was said, that we are not in a position to comment on the guest list. But it is reported in several articles that the gentleman did not invite Harry and Meghan because they realized their presence would overshadow the entire wedding. And he wants to make sure that his wife is, the center of attention. Now, a couple of things. First of all, it is being reported that Harry is upset because he felt that he should be an usher, not William, that job should belong to him. He never really sat back and thought about the consequences of his behavior. Second of all, they're now reporting that this guy is not only godfather to George, but he's also godfather to Archie. But nobody really knows that because remember, Harry and Meghan decided they were not going to release the names of the godparents to their kids. So how do we know that that's even true? Now, one other interesting little thing that somebody pointed out to me, Harry and Meghan said that they got a save the date card. I have been informed by some of my friends who live in the UK that they don't do save the date cards. That's an American thing. Therefore, they did not receive a save the date card. Therefore, they did not snub the wedding because they did not get an invitation. Consequences. Now, before we move on to our second topic of the day, I couldn't help but point out or think about this. Why is it that Meghan allowed this friendship to continue when she has cut so many other friends of Harry's off? Could it be because he's a billionaire? Think about it. She has literally cut off every other friend of his, but somehow this guy was allowed to continue his friendship and a direct line of communication to Harry. And the only difference between this guy and the other guys is that this guy is a billionaire. So yeah, I'm pretty sure the money has something to do with it. Well, it's too bad. I mean, listen, I want to feel sorry for Harry, but Harry is reaping the consequences of his behavior and his actions in ways that I don't think he thought of ahead of time. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's move on to our second story. Oh my goodness, we know that when Harry and Meghan went to Nigeria, first of all, the person that owns Peace Airlines is a fugitive from justice for money laundering. And everybody wondered why Harry and Meghan would hang out with them. Well, their camp has finally spoke out that these reports have come out. And they were also, let's not forget, welcomed by one of the chiefs who it turns out was thrown out of the United States multiple times. So one of Harry and Meghan's spokespersons came out and said that their couple's travel in Nigeria was organized by the Nigerian Chief of Defense Staff, and that Air Peace is the largest airline in Nigeria and has daily flights from Lagos to Britain's London Gateway Airport, and that Harry and Meghan were completely unaware about all of this other stuff that was going on, and they were visiting in a private capacity. And I will say again, as I have said before, this would not have happened if they were still working royals, because everybody would have been vetted and every leg of the journey would have been arranged. This is what happens when you wing it. All right, you guys, you know I want those comments, so put them down and make them good because I'm reading them. Make them really good. Go ahead and hit the like button and the subscribe button to help me with my algorithm issues. And go ahead and follow me over to video number 3. Let's go.